1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Ali Ahmed. First, the headlines. Prime Minister says the government has decided to hold massive crackdown against smuggling in the country. Pakistan has welcomed UN Secretary-General's offer about resolving outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. Special Assistant on Information says UN Secretary-General's remarks about Kashmir is a victory of Pakistan's stance on the issue. Pakistan has conducted successful flight test of air-launched cruise missile Raj-2. Netherlands has reaffirmed its support to Pakistan at Financial Action Task Force. China says it supports dialogue among all relevant parties in Afghanistan and welcomed the expected US-Taliban deal. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says the government has decided to hold massive crackdown against smuggling in the country. Chairing a high-level meeting in Islamabad this evening, he said the government will not tolerate elements involved in smuggling of food items, resulting in artificial inflation across the country. The Prime Minister directed the Ministry of Interior to prepare and present a report containing details of anti-smuggling measures within 48 hours. Imran Khan also directed that short, medium and long-term measures to be taken, keeping in view the proposals of Anti-Smuggling Task Force. Similarly, other institutions, including IB, ISI and FIA, have been directed to present regular monitoring report on measures against smuggling. Pakistan has welcomed UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres' offer in resolving outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. This was stated by Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi while talking to media in Islamabad today after the concluding ceremony of two-day International Refugee Summit marking 40 years of Afghan refugees' presence in Pakistan. He said Indian reaction to the UN Secretary-General's offer shows India is avoiding resolution of the outstanding issues. Early addressing concluding session of the conference, the Foreign Minister said the participants of the conference applauded the unparalleled solidarity and hospitality of Pakistan and Iran and condemned the inclusive policies towards Afghan refugees. The conference was attended by more than 500 participants, including the Prime Minister Imran Khan, the Secretary-General of the United Nations, the Second Vice President of Afghanistan, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, ministers and other high-ranking representatives of the government. Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdausa Shakawan, says United Nations Secretary-General's remarks about Kashmir is a victory of Pakistan's stance on the issue. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad this afternoon, she welcomed the statement and expressed hope that the United Nations will play its due role in resolving the issue in lines with the UN Security Council's resolutions. She urged the United Nations to play its due role in stopping massive human rights violations committed by Indian troops in occupied Kashmir. She said that rights of minorities are not protected in India due to extremist policies of BJP-led regime. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres visited Darbar Sahib Kartarpur corridor today, where he was briefed about the steps taken by the government for facilities being provided to the Sikh community. He was told that purpose of opening of Kartarpur corridor is to provide an easy access to Sikh community across the border, and this is a practical proof of interfaith harmony being ensured by Pakistan. Later talking to media persons, the UN Secretary-General said Kartarpur corridor is a practical example of Pakistan's desire for peace and interfaith harmony. He said the opening of corridor is a good step and it will promote tolerance and interfaith harmony. The UN chief appreciated the facilities being provided to Sikh Catrice at the complex. Meanwhile, in a tweet today, Antonio Guterres termed Kartarpur corridor a welcome symbol of interfaith harmony. He said it was an honor to visit Pakistan's newly opened Kartarpur corridor, which is a symbol of hope connecting two key Sikh pilgrimage sites. Secretary-General also administered anti-polio vaccine to children up to 5 years of age at local school in Lahore. On this occasion, talking to media, he said fatal disease of polio can effectively be fought out through joint and concerted efforts. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres also visited Lahore Fort. He lauded the Mughal architecture and beauty of Badshahi Masjid. This is Radio Pakistan. Chiefs have Pakistan and Netherlands in the area of agriculture. He said Netherlands can assist Pakistan in enhancing production of potatoes, dairy farming, and cultivation of flowers on commercial basis. Willem Wouter-Plom said the investors of his country are also interested to invest in Pakistan. In his remarks, Speaker National Assembly Asad Qaiser urged Netherlands to play its role in getting stopped human rights violations in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said Pakistan is a peace-loving country and is striving for durable peace in the region. In Shab-e-Qadr, 4 children died and 10 others injured when roof of a cemetery collapsed in Kangra this afternoon. The injured have been shifted to hospital. In occupied Kashmir amid continued military lockdown and internet shutdown, Indian troops intensified cordon and search operations across the territory to harass and intimidate the people. According to Kashmir Media Service, the troops arrested several youth during the ongoing operations in different areas of the valley. Meanwhile, 1.4 million people have been forced to give up mobile phone connections due to communications blockade imposed by India in the territory since 5th of August last year. China has expressed hope that the peace deal between the US and Taliban would be implemented smoothly and created conditions for the final political resolution of the Afghan issue. This has been stated by Chinese Foreign Ministry's spokesperson Gang Shuang during his regular briefing in Beijing. He said Beijing supports dialogue between all relevant parties in Afghanistan and welcomes the news that US and Taliban are expected to sign a deal. Gang Shuang said that China stood ready to step up its cooperation with all parties to the Afghan issue and the international community and for peace, stability and development in Afghanistan. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has said voting in parliamentary election this week is a religious obligation for voters. Quoted him, the state television said that voting is not only revolutionary and national responsibility, but it is also a religious duty. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, dust, thunderstorm rain with snowfall over the hills is expected at isolated places in Islamabad, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Potahar region, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. To end the news, here are some of the headlines. Prime Minister says the government has decided to hold massive crackdown against smuggling in the country. Pakistan has welcomed UN Secretary-General's offer about resolving outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. Special Assistant on Information says UN Secretary-General's remarks about Kashmir is a victory of Pakistan's stance on the issue. Pakistan has conducted successful flight test of air-launched cruise missile Raat-2. Netherlands has reaffirmed its support to Pakistan at Financial Action Task Force. China says it supports dialogue among all relevant parties in Afghanistan and welcomes the expected US-Taliban deal. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk. And for the live video streaming of our bulletins, visit the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.